Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop geek culture show where Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. And also from Lilo and Stitch. Good job.
Ohana.
Yeah.
I would leave all CGI monstrosities behind personally. But
I'm Sam.
we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk
in the
about
show.
that later, yeah.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Cody.
And we have a special guest with us this week. Vaughn, a.k.a. VaunDoom, is with us once again. How you doing, Vaughn?
I'm chilling like a villain, brother. How are you?
Hey, doing all right. Yeah, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. I think it's, a couple years? Something like that?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I was at a job where they shackled me and chained me, and I broke free just about a month ago.
Oh.
I'm actually able to live.
Right
Nice.
on. Excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we're going to jump into the show here. We got a bunch of news. We got some check 'em outs. But before we do all that, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the projects you've been working on here, man. So, you just recently dropped an EP, the Eclipse Tapes II. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a 3-part series. I dropped the Eclipse Tapes 1 last month.
Okay.
And then the Eclipse Tapes 2 this month, and then the final one is going to be next month.
Well, excellent. Yeah, I got a chance to listen to it the other night, and it's great. I really like the flow that you have on it. You can tell I'm not exactly the most versed in talking about rap, but no, I really dig it a lot. I really like how you're able to weave kind of pop culture, nerd culture references in, but not make the song about that. You're able to kind of work it in. That's really cool, because I know there are a couple of nerdcore rappers, I guess.
It's their whole thing.
Yeah, like Mega Ran. He put out an album that was all about... It was a concept album of Final Fantasy VII, that sort of thing. But it was just the references. But you're able to kind of work it in, but not make it about the whole thing. So that's really cool.
I'm not, the more the older I get, the less the weeb drains out of me. So.
Sure.
So maybe because I'm about to tell you something hella weebish, but it's that the Eclipse tapes are actually themed off Berserk.
Oh,
because
really? Okay.
I'm working on an album called Son of the God Hand.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm on an indie label from Cleveland called We Good Records, and we were actually going to release the EPs as individual singles. And then my mans was like, hey, let's not do that. And let's just make EPs. Let's see how that works. Because we were trying to figure out what type of strategy would be better when it comes to streaming and the songs and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, package these in EPs, figure out how to connect them and put them out. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I had this idea for this album called Son of the God Hand for a very long time. The EPs were the songs were now I gotta figure out what I'm going to do. And so I was like, maybe I can connect these with this idea I got. And I was trying to figure out a name. It took me a long time, a couple of months. And then I was like, I don't know. And then I was just for some reason, somehow just popped into my brain something about the eclipse. And I'm like, okay, so what can I call these? And then I was like, oh, the Eclipse tapes. And then I just, tried to get, we packaged the songs, 3 of them that all sound the best. And so now the Eclipse tapes are basically packaged EPs to hold you over until I get finished with Son of the God Hand. And
Gotcha.
That's actually the concept album. Dang, this is hella weebish.
Hey, you're in the right spot for talking about this stuff, man. It's all good. It's all good.
But so Son of the God Hand. Have you guys seen Berserk?
I have.
Josh
Okay,
has.
so- all right,
I've
so-
seen a couple episodes of it, but...
I've always
so
wanted
the
to
whole
get into
concept-
it, but haven't.
So, you have to, man. I'm telling you.
I even have the original anime on DVD.
Yeah, it's one of the best pieces of art, period. So the whole concept of Son of the God Hand is, when they're I forget which battle it is, but it's the one battle where the old pervert dude gets killed by Griffith, and then they, get the whole nobility stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And then Griffith has that speech about pursuing your dreams by any means necessary, and how all the people that are with him are his comrades but not his friends. So the whole concept of the album is basically like how you have to pursue your dreams by any means necessary, even if it means to stepping on the dead bodies of your comrades. But that's what all of these EPs are. They're basically just like appetizers for the main course.
Gotcha. You said the Eclipse Tape 3 comes out here in a couple weeks or a month or so? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So the whole thing was it was supposed to be, the first one was what is it? February 1st, March 2nd, and then April 3rd.
Okay.
For number 3.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then the full album will come out, probably sometime further down the line.
Yeah, that'll be like a long time from now, because I've made all the beats and everything, but I still have to like write stuff, because like making concept albums is hard.
Oh,
because,
sure.
Like you gotta tell the story, and I have to write it all out based off, like, because I can't just force myself to write it and it'll come out trash, so it has to come to me or something like that,
Oh, for sure.
I mean, if you're going to make a Berserk related album, taking a long time kind of seems par for the course.
That's hilarious.
He literally had the boat chapters for 10 years.
Yeah.
In the books.
Yeah, well, that's kind of funny. But I mean, like I'm trying to do it, because I got so much stuff, cuz like I shoot videos, I do media, all that type of jazz. So I'm trying to like get a kind of like a spark to where I can completely focus on the album and then start writing, because like once I get a thing, like I wrote a verse for one song finally, but then there's like I have to figure, because like I have to write the concepts, make sure they make sense, and then connect them all together, and then like put them in an order, in a form to where like you can relate, and then you can like see where the story, there's a beginning, middle, and an end. Because like the whole thing, I want to try to make it to where like the beats are supposed to like reflect certain parts of the story. Like the beginning is supposed to like reflect the I'll say like the beginning of like the Band of the Hawk, and then like the middle is supposed to like I was talking about, like the dream that you realize like life is just like, if you're trying to pursue a dream, you're going to step on some people. And then the ending is supposed to be like the eclipse is going to be like really gritty and like Vaughn-ish. So it's it's a lot to think about. Dang, I am a weeb. That's
It's all good, man. So outside of the album, like you said, you have a lot of different projects you're working on. You got a webcomic going, don't you?
Yeah, it's called Dragon of God, and I'm very ashamed because I dropped chapter 3 a couple years ago, and like I'm just starting chapter 4. But like I said, I was at a job where I couldn't live and I couldn't do anything, but now I'm able to have time to do stuff. So I'm working on chapter 4 right now. Dang, I am like Kintaro Miura-ish, because like it's been a couple years since I've really dropped something else, but it's a really cool story though. I'm working on chapter 4, so
it's looked great. Yeah, what I've seen of it, it's looked really, really good.
Yeah, and it's going to look better too, because I'm changing my style up to a little bit more less manga-ish and more like whatever I want. And I kind of am trying to add more like, because if you look at the comics now, it's like a lot of screen tones and stuff like that, cross-hatching. But I want to add more blacks to be, wow. I want to add like the color black, the more into the comics, into the characters and all the all the designs, so it'll look more grittier and look more like sinister, because it's supposed to be like a dark fantasy type of thing. So I want it to look like that,
like something kind of grimdark.
Yeah. So
like Berserk.
I guess, but I'm trying to change it up a little more, because like it's manga style, but like I want the characters to look more like realistic ish. So
maybe something kind of like I don't know, like a monster or something where it's anime like, but it's more just realistic, people.
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to work that out. So when I get all this junk out of the way that I got going on, I'm
Catch your life back up.
Right, because what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to put it in the schedule of my streams, because I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and I've been like, oh well, we're gonna work on a page for an hour, then we're gonna play some games, and then after that's what I've been trying to do, because like a page I can do like one page like for like I don't know a day or two. It takes like a day or two, because like I don't try to like just make comics. I try to make every page like a work of art. You know?
Oh,
what
sure,
I mean?
Yeah.
sure. And it's
So-
and your stuff is really, really like detailed and stuff. So
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, so because that's what I want to try and do, and because I don't want it to, and that's why I'm trying to change my style up, because like I said, I noticed I draw a little bit too anime like, to where there's not really much comic style, but it's like anime style, where there's just like your line art, and it's just like open space with characters and like the details and stuff. I want to be more detailed when it comes to like people's faces and clothes and things like that. Get more into like using cross hatching and like using more blacks and more stuff to put it all together to make it look like really really cool. Well, I mean, the pages I got so far are kind of tight, but I want to like work more into it, because I want to like make sure like every single piece you see is like really detailed and really cool. You like really get into the characters, and like I got some stuff in my brain.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's really cool to kind of have it the art style kind of progress as the story goes on. You can kind of see how it starts in one style, and as the the story progresses and changes, so does the art style. I think that's a really cool kind of way to go about it. For sure.
And it's been giving me time to think story wise about, because like I kind of went from, it's going to be like a episodic type of thing, but I also I'm a big FromSoft guy, and Elden Ring is like my favorite game ever, next to Final Fantasy IX. But so there's this thing that they have to find, because the whole world is like infested with demons, but it's like there's like a seal, because like heaven has been locked, right? And there's a reason, and there's these seals around the world that they gotta find. I even have it to where like I'm gonna try and make it like, oh man, like I'm reading this comic, but it feels like a game, where like you'll see certain things, and like they'll pick up certain stuff in the arcs and stuff, and they're like, oh, and then like maybe at the end of the comic y'all have like an item description, detailing more world building of like what this is.
What you have so far is super super great. So before we jump into the rest of the show, where can people find your the EP? Where can people find the comic? The stuff that you're doing?
Okay, so for the music, you can find all the stuff, all the albums and catalogs on all streaming platforms. You can find them on Spotify, iTunes, even the Facebooks, TikToks, everywhere. You just look up VaunDoom, VaunDoom, and then the music's everywhere. And for the comic, you can go to Global Comics with an X, Global COMIX.com, and then just look up VaunDoom, or just look up Dragon of God. I really need to start freaking promoting that joint and getting back into the groove of things. But yeah, that's where
You'll get there, bud. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm working. I'm working.
We've all been in those rebuilding stages of big changes in life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's where you can find everything.
Okay, well, right on. Okay, so I guess we're going to go ahead and jump into the meat of the show here. And first thing we're going to be doing is talk about some things we've been checking out.
Check it out!
All right, so yeah, let's talk about some things we've been doing the last couple of weeks. Vaughn, you're the guest, so we'll start with you, man.
What I've been doing the last couple of weeks is literally cleaning my house, trying to get my stream schedule in order, playing a lot of Monster Hunter. That's pretty much pretty much what I got going on right now.
Gotcha. So how is the new Monster Hunter?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I haven't picked it up yet.
I think it's an incredible game. I enjoy it. So the cool thing about Monster Hunter is like, okay, so the storyline is like nobody cares about it because nobody.
That's not what it's
cares
about.
Nah, it's really not. And it's funny because one of my friends made because I made a post on Facebook about it, and he was like, they should really just be like, hey, the story should be like a text. There should be like, hey, just go fight monsters, and that's it. Because like that's really all anybody's there for. And, like,
fight monsters and hang out with your palico.
Yeah, and the meat, the golden part of the game is playing it with all the homies. Because like when you're fighting the boss, yeah, it's cool. And then like you just see this guy's into the quest, this guy's into the quest, and then you're just like beating up monsters 30, 40 deep, and it's like super cool. And but yeah, Monster Hunter is really awesome. Like I'm trying to like, cause I was on some Marvel Rivals for heavy for a second.
Yeah.
And then
I need
Monster
to play that game more.
Oh yeah, like I got to get back into, because I have a whole backlog, man. Because like I bought Monster Hunter and Liza P at the same time, but like all the homies are playing Monster Hunter, so I'm trying to get my high rank up and everything like that. I was trying to like go ranked on Marvel Rivals heavy because I'm a Magic main.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I okay. I guess I was doing a little bit more stuff, playing the Marvel Rivals and everything. Because like, hey, don't mess with my Magic, man. I'm pretty tight. I'm kind of cold. I was trash at first because I was using a controller and then started doing mouse and key, and that took a while. But after I got the hang of it, bro, please.
Yeah,
you
mouse and keyboard is always better for shooters.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt.
But no, Monster Hunter's dope.
All right, right on. I've heard that it really opens up after you gotta get through the story part. Once you get through that, that's when the game actually gets like fun.
Right. I said that last night. So I told my homie, I was like, bro, like, so we're the story's just the demo, huh? And he was like, pretty much. I'm like, yeah. So.
Okay, well, right on. I guess I'll jump into the one thing I kind of did. So lately I've been getting really into FMV games from like the 90s. They're really janky with the video screens and stuff. And I have been playing a lot of Night Trap. Do you remember Night Trap from like the late 80s, early 90s?
You could at least play a good FMV.
Well, no, because I love trash. I love bad movies, and Night Trap is like
a bad trash movie.
It's like a bad trash movie. So the whole premise of it is you're in like a control center, and there's like 7 or 8 screens that you have to flip one to the next while the video plays, and you're supposed to hit the controller at certain times on certain screens to basically spring a trap and stop these. Well, they're supposed to be vampires, but they look like weird, like CIA monster guys. Just they're like squatting, walking around, looking like they got to get to the bathroom as quick as possible. They're like duck walking around. While
they're called augers for some reason.
For whatever reason. And it's actually funny because so I did some research into it. Well, one stars Dana Plato from Different Strokes. Kind of as her career was slowly
going to the toilet,
going down, sunsetting. That's a very charitable way of putting it. But the thing was filmed in 1987. It was supposed to be for I think it was like a not Bandai. It was a Hasbro.
Yeah,
Hasbro was trying to come up with their own game system.
Yeah, like a Laserdisc based one, I think.
A Laserdisc or VHS or something like that.
Yeah.
And it ended up not working. So they ended up switching it to the Sega CD. And Night Trap and the first Mortal Kombat were the two games that were brought in front of the congressional, house or whatever, and to talk about violence in video games. That's where the ESRB came from. The thing is, Night Trap is the most non-violent, hokey, like
cheesy, goofy,
like it's like a bad B movie level.
I'm
terrible.
Googling this, and this looks like a bad episode of Saved by the Bell.
It really does, and that's how it feels. 90% of it feels like a bad Saved by the Bell or bad just sitcom sort of situation. It's hilariously bad. Playing the game is kind of a pain because they try to trick you by having the plot in other scenes, but you have to be stopping the monsters or the augurs or whatever in scenes where nothing else is happening. So I would really recommend not playing the game and actually just finding there's a YouTube cut. Someone spliced the all the important scenes together into almost like a hour-long movie. 50-minute long movie.
The game itself is just rote memorization.
It is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just remembering to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And you just figure it out by trying over and over and over again until you memorize it.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. For some crazy reason, they re-released it for its 25th anniversary on PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch, oddly enough. But yeah, it's something else. After this, I think I'm going to try Phantasmagoria.
That one is not bad.
Yeah, this from Sierra Games.
Yeah, that's a Roberta Williams,
Yeah.
the creator of King's Quest. She did that one. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Play Gabriel Knight, The Beast Within.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one's pretty good too.
It's a good game, but it is also has the same kind of cheese
Okay.
that
good.
you would want from an FMV game, while also being a decent point-and-click adventure at the same time.
Excellent. I like that.
I think it's on GOG.
Oh, it is?
On
Okay,
GOG.
cool. The other thing I've been doing, this is real quick. So again, I like trash. I like things that are bad. And I've been on a kick of old 80s and 90s Saturday morning cartoons. So
I have lots of those times.
Yes. So I found the Mr. T cartoon.
Oh, I've seen bits of that.
It was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yes.
It was like the worst version of Scooby-Doo and G.I. Joe. Like they took the worst bits of both and slapped them together. Mr. T goes around with a team of between 4 and 8 teen gymnasts for some reason.
It's kind of like...
And they solve crimes.
It's kind of like Chuck Norris and the Karate Commando.
It is,
kinda...
yeah, very much that.
They could have put those two shows together as one block. Really.
Yeah, and the voice acting...
And the MC Hammer cartoon.
Oh, Hammerman?
Yeah.
That is lost media.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is not available anywhere, and no one can
Find it.
Yeah, it's just gone. But no, it's pretty rough. The voice acting on the cartoon's pretty good, with the exception of Mr. T himself. It is very obvious he is not a voice actor. He is just reading his lines. It's very stilted. It's like, we have to go over here to stop the criminals. It's like, it's awful. It's awful.
Oh, pity the fool.
Yeah, I pity the fool. Don't make me read the script.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing this week.
Speaking of vintage themed things, so I played a game, and I'm gonna have to restart it because I already messed up. It is a sort of narrative, kind of point and clicky kind of game called Killer Frequency.
Okay.
You are a radio DJ who used to be a big-time Chicago radio DJ, and then you somehow got in trouble. I'm not really sure exactly what happened. It hasn't got brought up in the story just yet. And you got thrown into this little tiny town's radio station, and this serial killer from the 1950s has somehow come back and starts killing people again.
Okay.
And because the town only has 3 police, and one of them is dead and the other one was attacked by the killer and is unconscious, you become basically the 911 line while also still manning a radio station.
Oh,
That
interesting.
sounds really cool.
So people call in and you have to help them by making choices for them and whether they'll survive or not.
Interesting.
And I messed up. The second call I got, I had to go find a book about how to hotwire a car. And this lady who was jazzercising and jazz walking around town.
This is the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
And she saw the killer, and she's trying to hide from him and start her car because she dropped her keys outside and she can't go back for them. Mm-hmm. And I accidentally messed up and I gave her the wrong order because the way you have to select the options is kind of weird. And she got electrocuted live on the phone.
Oh, God.
no.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to restart. I tried to go back to my reload my save state, but it saved right when the lady died, and I was like,
yeah.
dang it!
Live with your choices.
I don't want to.
Live with your choices.
I feel bad.
That's what narrative games are for.
I feel bad. I don't want to.
Live with your mistake.
And it's really interesting.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation Plus Premium.
Okay.
That's where I got it. The other thing I did, I watched Netflix's new Electric State, which is set in an alternate history 1990s.
Oh, that's the one with Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is in it, but luckily he's not in it a lot.
Oh, good.
Isn't that a Russo brothers?
Yes,
I think it is, yeah.
It is a Russo
Yeah.
brothers movie. So I guess the hot pitch of this movie is back in the 50s,
Way back in the 1950s.
Walt Disney built robots
Sure.
as animatronics for his park.
Like literally Walt Disney?
Yeah, literally Walt
Wow.
Disney. Yeah, literally Walt Disney built robots.
Five Nights at Disney's.
Pretty much. Yeah, kind of. Well, he built these robots, and then robot technology spread to other facets of human society, and basically robots became the de facto labor force.
Okay.
And of course, and storylines like that, the robots want freedom. They want independence.
It goes about like you'd expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is Disney's The Matrix.
Yeah.
Except all these guys aren't Disney. There is a Planter's Peanut, Mr. Peanut, who is the leader of the robot revolution.
Nice. So is it filled with like references to things like a Ready Player One or something like that?
We do
No.
know that Mr. Peanut can be killed. Just not for very long.
And then regenerate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
His consciousness goes into another peanut.
exactly.
But
Those ads were weird, man.
no, it really doesn't have a Ready Player One. Like it kind of does, but it's like It's like products, not so much like things. Like
So it's food fight.
like Chris Pratt's character, he makes money by going into what's called the exclusion zone, where all the robots hang out after they were defeated in the war, and he gets these items like singing Billy Basses and Barbies and things like that, and sells them to people because they can't get them anymore.
Okay.
See, here I thought Chris Pratt made money by sleepwalking voice acting through animated films.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well, that too. Yeah.
You're not wrong. Looking at you, Mario and Garfield.
I still can't believe that he was Garfield.
Hey, so was Bill Murray.
Yeah, but
Murray
that's a
is
good
fine.
pick.
That's a good pick.
He sounds like Garfield would.
Frank Welker will always be Garfield, but
You mean Alonzo Music is Garfield?
Yeah.
I thought it was Frank Welker.
No.
I thought it was Megatron.
Nope.
No.
Frank Welker's every other talking animal.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, odds are you would have been right on that one, like statistically,
Yeah.
but it was Alonzo Music.
Yeah.
Because he also voiced
Venkman
in the Ghostbusters.
Real
Ah,
Ghostbusters,
right.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yes.
we gotta
Yes.
get rolling on this, but the movie's good.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. All the robot designs are very interesting. Like there's like a magician robot. Like he's like a wooden box with legs with curtains, and he pulls it back and he does the whole flourish of like a showman kind of thing.
Okay, sure.
You got Mr. Peanut. You've got a Mexican taco robot that plays the piano. The whole of human society is living in these things called Neurocasters, and they're basically like VR helmets that you
Okay.
put on, and you kind of just live in a fantasy world.
This keeps sounding like Ready Player One.
I mean, kinda, except the world's not ruined.
Well,
and
cool.
the big bad is basically a Steve Jobs.
It sounds like
Sounds like Ready Player One.
He's a bald tech magnate who wears black turtletnecks.
Oh, okay. So, wow, that is
Yeah,
not
it's
very
subtle.
on the- very
No,
on the
at
nose.
all.
not
Yeah.
at all, not at all.
Yeah. Cody, what do you got?
Put a bunch of time in just today on this indie game called Keep Driving, and it's like a road trip simulator where they put you in a car, and your initial goal is to drive to a music festival at the other side of your vague Eastern European country that you live in.
Okay.
You make decisions along the way and collect resources and do different things to not die on the road.
It sounds like Oregon Trail a little bit.
It is kind of like that, but almost like a deck builder-esque.
Okay.
Like different events will pop up on the road as you're going, and they'll have different effects on your different resources, like your energy, your car's durability, and your gas level. And you have a different set of skills, and you unlock more, and you select like 5 or 6 to take with you on the road each time you leave a location. And you apply these skills that you get to the events that come up to knock out these little ticks that are. It's hard to explain because it's really different.
Yeah, it sounds pretty involved, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you do different runs. Like if you lose, you start over as a different person. Your
Like
car,
Oregon Trail.
Yeah, your car though can be persistent. Like your next character might buy the car that you drove in your last run.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's cool. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and jump over to the news. I guess we should talk about this one first. There was a live-action trailer for the new Lilo and Stitch. I bring it up only because we talked about it. We did the intro.
It's
on that.
Disney. It's time for your bi-yearly Disney live-action remake.
Yeah, it doesn't need to happen.
I don't support it.
Every live-action Disney film outside of like Aladdin has been bad.
I didn't hate Mulan.
I don't know. I think the closer they get to just copying scene for scene the animated one, the worse they've gotten. Like if they wanted to do something different and unique.
See, that's what I liked about Aladdin is they changed it enough to give other characters more agency and more like motivation.
What I liked about Mulan, it was almost entirely different film.
Well, yeah, the main villain wasn't even the Hun leader guy. It was some witch lady.
Cool witch lady.
Yeah, if you're going to remake a movie, if you're going to remake something, make a reason for it. Don't just be like, it's the exact same thing. And
Beauty
Lilo
and the
and
Beast.
Stitch,
Beauty and the Beast was shot for shot.
they added a couple scenes, but it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Here's the exact same movie, but we made a couple changes where people nitpick and make jokes on the internet about.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
Yeah, but
I'm an animation buff, so I don't care about these movies at all. Any of them. Like I actually wish that they would go back to animating their movies, but
like traditionally, like
yeah,
yes. But I know that's like a big ass budget and all that, and
Princess and the Frog was the last one,
and that was good. That was a great movie.
That's a good one. Did you see that they were going to be doing a series like on Disney Plus? And they canceled it.
Yeah,
and it's what the new Splash Mountain is based on.
Yeah,
an animated show that's never going to come out now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about Tiana, yeah.
Her restaurant or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So, this Lilo and Stitch, I'm not going to see it because I've already seen it. Animated one's great.
Yeah, I would just watch the animated one.
I've seen some things. I did see in the trailer that there is Cobra Bubbles is in the movie, and initially people thought he wasn't going to be in it
because Michael Clark Duncan's
well, not even that, because there was a separate character who was a Child Protective Services agent,
and so they're mixing their
they basically separated the characters out. I feel like Cobra Bubbles is going to be like the Gantu, like he's a government agent that's chasing Stitch.
Oh, gotcha.
Versus Gantu chasing Stitch. They might have Gantu too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember these character names because I sure don't. Outside of Lilo and Stitch, I do not know the names.
Lilo and Stitch is
Nami. Nami
is literally my favorite Disney film.
Oh, okay.
So yes, that stuff is committed to my memory.
Gotcha.
I just think Stitch looks like he's not really there in every scene they show him in. It just looks like he's painted into the scene
because he is.
Because he is. Yeah.
Well, you made a good point the other day where they should have done at least some practical, like put a puppet in there.
Yeah, because he has no weight or physicality in any scene he's in.
It's like when they stepped away from the Yoda puppet from Episode 1, and put CGI Yoda in the rest of the trilogy.
Yeah, just looks like he's floating from. Shot to shot.
Yoda literally was.
Yeah.
Either by the Force or his hover chair.
It has the same cinematic presence as the old 50s movie where they're in front of a blue screen and there's claymation dinosaurs behind them. Yeah. Like, it looks about that good.
Harryhausen.
Yeah, Harryhausen, his stuff at least looked really great.
Looked nice,
though.
but like people that mimic
Yeah.
Disney just need to make new IPs, in my opinion.
Totally 100% agree with you. I'm also getting tired of the sequels.
I miss the weird Disney films where they took a chance.
Yes.
Like Treasure Planet.
Everything is super safe these days.
Or Atlantis.
Or
Black Cauldron, for that matter.
I think Disney is still like trying to hold on to like us middle-aged adults that are trying like I think they should make new IPs to grasp the young generation like they did with the other movies like The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan,
The
Lilo and
Renaissance era.
Stitch, Toy Story, all of that. Like I think they
Exactly.
should do that instead of like redoing the movies over and over
Or
again.
doing unnecessary sequels like Toy Story 5.
Yeah, bro, listen, I will fight people over Toy Story. That's like the GOAT for me. But like they already was like
They
like,
ended
bro,
the series twice.
like Woody's out. He's like he's pouring out like out here doing stuff. Like he's out here with the other toy. Like what more can they do? Like I don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
I
Like-
thought it was a fitting ending when he gave all his toys to his neighbor, and that was
Yeah.
it. And that was it.
Yeah.
We didn't need.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
that was beautiful.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
yeah. It was. Yeah, exactly. It was heartfelt,
Yeah.
especially with that ending, and they're all staring into their mortality with the fire, and then they get saved.
Right.
Toy Story 3 was amazing. Toy Story 3
Yeah.
was a great ending. Not that 4 is a bad movie, because I won't say that Toy Story 4 was a bad movie, but it was unnecessary.
I never even watched it.
It lets you know who the main character was right there.
Yeah, it's Woody.
And it's Woody.
It's always
And
been. It's always been.
now he's
Woody.
off to start a new journey with new broke ass toys, and it's like, all right, man, I guess.
I'm waiting for the far future where Woody looks like more like one of those toys that was in like Sid's room,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
where he's this piece together. He's like
Cobbled himself back together with different parts or whatever. Yeah.
he's got a GoPro for an eye.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's looking like a 40K Mechanicus character.
Yeah, right. Well, speaking of sequels, although I think this one is actually warranted, there was a 10-minute cinematic trailer for Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding 2, a game that's probably going to be just as incomprehensible as the first one.
Yeah. I still need to play it for real. I haven't-
I'm right there with you, Vaughn. It's been on my list forever, and I just haven't.
Highly
I was going to
recommend
get it, but like everybody was like, "Hey, man, it's a UPS simulator, bro. Don't even worry about it."
Hey, if you've got PlayStation Plus, it's on there, including the director's cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And, like I saw I kind of looked at the ending of it. I'm like, this looks really freaking cool.
yeah.
So now I'm like,
Oh,
hey,
for sure.
I'll-
There's some stuff in there. It's just
It
yeah.
is
Right.
it is a UPS simulator, but it does it in a really involved and interesting way. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the new trailer kind of answered some questions because I've always wondered what of like the ideas in Death Stranding would have been left for like new Metal Gear games. And now we done seen a whole bunch of stuff in this new trailer. We got a whole great value Solid Snake.
Yeah. Yep.
We got Metal Gears on sludge monsters. Like
Oh yeah, no. This is like someone going, I don't think about my ex-girlfriend anymore. I don't think about her at all. But,
man.
but she's having a party, so I'm going to have a party about a week before, and it's going to be just as big, if not bigger. But I don't think about her at all. It's like he's that with the Metal Gear series.
I was gonna say his new girlfriend's just like his old
you
girlfriend.
break up with what's her name, Kim Kardashian, just to get Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But the trailer itself looks really, really good. It's very cinematic, very serious.
star-studded cast still.
Oh yeah. Well, Kojima, he wants to be a director. He wants to be best friends with movie actors. Apparently, he wasn't named, but Timothy Chalamet is also in that trailer somewhere.
God, of course
and
he
it's
is.
just because he keeps adding people just because he wants to be friends with them. That's what he did with Mads Mikkelsen. You remember that picture
Hey,
of him?
I'd want to be friends with Matt Mikkelsen.
Well, sure,
too.
of course. But you remember that picture of him with Mads Mikkelsen? They're standing outside, and Mads is smoking, because
Yeah.
it's what he does. And Kojima's like holding the cigarette up to his lips, but he's like, it's
He's
clearly
not
not
smoking.
lit, and it's not actually in his mouth, just so he would look cool next to his cool best friend, Mads Mikkelsen.
I
Yeah.
did see an Instagram picture which really got me going of him and Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, "Oh, what are they finna do?" Because anything with Keanu Reeves, that's my guy. He's Jesus to me. Ever since he was on the Matrix, he's Jesus to me. So
I mean, he was the Jesus allegory in the Matrix.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. So I'm freaking. I want to see what that guy. Him and his gang movies is.
Oh, yeah.
He would have made a good Snake.
He
Keanu.
would have back in
Yeah.
the day. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, especially now after he's been like John Wick for
Even
5
now.
times.
Even now,
Even now he
that's
could be a
true.
good Snake.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's evolved past being the whoa actor.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's still kind of the whoa actor. He's like whoa actor now.
I know.
Wake up,
'Cause he's-
samurai.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that the Cyberpunk has actually gotten good.
It
now
is
that they've,
good.
Now
Yeah,
that
they fixed a
all
lot of the.
all
Well,
bugs.
the same thing happened with The Witcher 3.
That's true.
When Witcher 3 came out, it was kind of buggy, and people were kind of.
I always thought it was pretty good, but I played it on PC first,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
yeah.
much more stable than.
Yeah.
The other versions,
Yeah.
I stayed as far away from Cyberpunk as I could, but then I saw that they brought an anime in
Edge
on
Runners.
Netflix. Yeah, and then everybody was like, "Oh, this anime is fire. Let me play the game."
Yeah.
and then they came back to the game.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Vaughn, did you see that one of the characters from Edge Runner is going to be in Strive? It's going to be in the DLC.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Lucy,
I
I
did
think is
see
the character's
that.
name. Yeah, it's like the first time they've ever done like a guest character in one of their games.
Yeah,
Which is kinda
that's
wild.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wonder where that came from. Like, why specifically Cyberpunk and the Edge Runners character. I want to know where the logic came into that, because that's kind of interesting. I think that's cool.
Yeah, the only thing I could think is, the Guilty Gear world is it has some of that techno. It's not full blown cyberpunk style, but it definitely
Right.
has like the organic and the technological kind of mixed together. So I think as
Yeah.
far as a character, it's a good fit. I think.
If you were gonna have me guess what fighting game got a Cyberpunk guest character, I would have guessed Soul Calibur.
Well, it was Soul Calibur. Yeah.
Oh well, unfortunately, Soul Calibur has died.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, it's not-
They don't make those anymore.
No, definitely not.
Also, I would have picked Rebecca.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Also, fighting games. Have you seen anything about the sequel to City of the Wolves?
City of the
Row?
Wolves. Yeah, I played the beta.
Okay. Yeah. What'd you think of it?
I like it. It is similar to Street Fighter 6
Okay. Cool.
in a way, to where the mechanics are, and I really enjoyed it. Me and my homie were playing the beta for a little bit, and I think it's going to. Now, my thing with SNK games, like, they're really popular, like, in like Mexico. So I hope City of the Wolves really performs, because it's going to be an Evo, which is crazy to me.
That's kind of wild. Yeah.
Right, it's crazy to me. But City of the Wolves, I really hope it performs really good at Evo, so people can see it and people can see the high performance, and it really blows up. Because any type of fighting, I love fighting games, so I hope any fighting game that looks really good blows up. So I'm really looking forward to City of the Wolves.
Especially since it feels like fighting games is not as active as a genre as it used to be.
It's starting to bounce back. It was definitely
Because it definitely felt like every other game that came out there for a while was a fighting game.
Yeah.
in the 90s,
So
yeah.
fighting games is kind of like a lot of us make a joke about it. Fighting games is like poverty games, like because of the community. Because like for example, you'll have a lot of video game tournaments, and you'll have like Evo, the biggest tournament in like the world, like next to Capcom Cup or whatever. But they will have first prize like $20,000, $30,000. When you can be like 15 years old and play Fortnite and win like $4 million first place, or some Overwatch, and you can become you will not have to worry about money for the rest of your life if you're godlike enough. But like when it comes to like fighting games, it's like we're Capcom Cup ended this last week, and the first place prize winner got $1 million. So we're working on it.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're working on it. So I'm really excited because there's more fighting games coming out, and now the developers are starting to see, because of the tournaments that we've been doing for like decades. Now they're making their own tournaments and making opportunities for pro players and just up and coming players just to come up. In Capcom Cup, second place was this 15-year-old. His name was Blas, bodying everybody with Ryu. He got $100,000. Bro can chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm really happy. Fighting games are in a good space at the moment.
You can pay for a semester of college.
Right.
Dude, I wouldn't even go to college.
Yeah.
I just chill. You know what I mean?
I could not be trusted with that amount of money at that age. Actually, I'm not even sure I could be trusted with that amount of money at this age.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But the crazy thing about it is, this dude, this is his first tournament ever.
Wow.
So now, bro is godlike. Now Capcom Cup is the tournament of tournaments, so he's going to do more of this. So I don't think
he's definitely in the esports circles now.
Oh yeah.
for
People
sure.
are making videos about him now. They got high level matchup videos of him now, all types of stuff. Oh, he's cool now. He's straight I'm pretty sure he's going to be straight for a long time.
Yeah, people are going to be talking about him. If he sticks with it, people are going to be talking about him in the future, like they talk about like Daigo or Jaewon or some of the big names like that.
Yep.
Even I know Daigo, and I don't follow fighting game stuff.
Sonic Fox, is that
Sonic
the one?
Fox?
Yeah.
Well, Sonic Fox now is in the Mortal Kombat mind.
Yeah.
And,
but Sonic Fox is, in my opinion, one of the top 5.
Oh, he really is.
If he puts his mind, like if he gets into a game and touches the game, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he'll enter tournaments and stuff, not having picked up the game, and be top 8 or it will win them if not. Sonic Fox he's amazing. Yeah. But no, fighting games are in a good spot except for Mortal Kombat, which is about dead.
Well, the thing is, I don't know why they do it. Like, they only have the lifespan of Mortal Kombat games is literally like 3 years.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, and that's about it. So I think Mortal Kombat 1 is about up soon.
Well, they just dumped the T-1000 from Terminator 2 and a remake of Bo' Rai Cho. They've reimagined her as an elderly kung fu master.
Oh yeah,
Madame Bo.
Yeah, I saw her. I saw her fatality, and it cracks me.
Bo' Rai Cho was the throw up and fart guy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And one of her assists. So she's not a full playable character, but she's an assist, and one of them is she pops out with like a drink on a tray.
Yeah.
You drink it, and you get a Bo' Rai Cho's fart or Bo' Rai Cho's burp for one move or something like that. But she also has a lot of really, really good attacks along with it. It's just a shame that it's saddled to Mortal Kombat.
In the storyline, I think she's like kind of like the guardian of like Liu Kang, or not Liu Kang, but Human Raiden and Kung Lao.
And that's kind of where Bo' Rai Cho was in the previous timeline. The whole timeline of Mortal Kombat is...
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. I mean, it's stupid.
It's silly garbage.
It
anyway.
It is, absolutely.
Especially with Sub-Zero and then Scorpion coming soon to Fortnite. And their power,
oh, that's right.
And their power sets are coming as items. I mean, the Sub-Zero stuff's already there, and it's hilarious. Yeah. When you land an uppercut with the move now, you get the toasty guy in the corner of your screen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hell
well,
yeah.
That's kind of funny. That's all right. That's all right.
And then when you pick up the item, you'll hear Shang Tsung's voice. It'll be like, Sub-Zero. And then I'll be fighting somebody and I'll kill them, and you hear either the flawless victory or the
excellent.
It's so good. And I heard when the Scorpion stuff comes, we're gonna get the get over here.
Oh, they'd have to.
They'd have to.
By law.
Yeah.
By law.
Yeah. The best thing Mortal Kombat has done in recent years was the DLC story DLC for Mortal Kombat 11, where they brought Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, the guy who played Shang Tsung in
the movies,
in the original movie, in as the voice and face model for Shang Tsung in that, because that dude. He's perfect. He's perfect in that role.
He's like one of my best. He's like one of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
that whole opening where he's like, "Your soul is mine." And he's like holding up like Liu Kang's brother's head or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. That movie is cheesy, but I love that movie.
It was the best one.
Like Christopher Lambert is terrible as Raiden. But it's fun.
But it's fun. It's a fun terrible.
Yeah, and then Annihilation came out, and that movie was garbage.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now it is your turn to die.
That movie was ass.
Yes, it was.
Pack of
I mean,
ass.
come on. You kill Johnny Cage, one of the few returning characters and actors from the first movie, and kill him in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't
Stupid.
remember how Shao Kahn died, but like, didn't like one of them, like Jax or somebody, just uppercut him and he evaporated? Just like, oh.
Well, it was either that or they were trying to work in animalities.
They did. They did
into that one. So I think it was
they-
Liu Kang turning
I think
into
that was like the concept of like Liu Kang trying
turned into
to
a
master
dragon.
his-
He turned
yeah.
into a dragon, and he killed
Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn. Yeah.
Yeah. What a mess. But no, other movies that are kind of hokey and stuff.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
We've seen more release behind-the-scene photos of the Toxic Avenger remake that they're
With Peter
working
Dinklage.
with Peter Dinklage. We finally get a good shot of Toxie, and you
He
know
looks
what?
like Toxie.
Yeah.
He looks cheesy good, like a high-budget Power Rangers villain. And I'm here for it, man. I love the original movie and this new one. I'm glad it's finally getting released.
And Troma feels like Troma hasn't done anything in a minute.
They put stuff out. It's just, it's difficult.
They got their own thing going.
They do, yeah.
You just got to know where to look.
Poultrygeist and Return to Nukem High and some of those other ones. They're not very good, but
I know. I feel like Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD is like one of my top favorites.
that was them trying to go mainstream with a because they wanted to do a Saturday morning cartoon. Like
Maybe that's why I
Toxic
like it.
Crusaders
Maybe that's
and
why I
stuff.
like it, because it's boring.
Yeah.
My favorite Troma movie is Cannibal.
Well, that yeah.
Technically not really a
Not
Troma
even one of
movie, but-
theirs. Yeah. But but along with that, there's also they dropped a teaser for Spinal Tap 2: The End Continues, which is a money name for it.
Yeah, it sounds like a Spinal Tap joke.
Yeah. Again, love the original, and it's everyone's come back, including Rob Reiner is directing it, wrote and directed again. So it looks fantastic.
So, not to derail the conversation or
No,
anything,
do
but
it.
I just got a notification on my phone from a message for the Nerd Overload Facebook page from a guy named Shaun Khan.
Nice. All right.
Asking if we have an Apple podcast. I know it's spam, but
Well, no, it's Shao Kahn. He likes listening to the show.
He
wants
heard
to,
his name mentioned and he wants to know what this is about.
Yeah.
You made him laugh.
my lawyers in Outworld have notified me of my mention.
Yes. All right.
I am coming for your soul.
Yeah.
And damages.
So we have time for one more here before we wrap things up. Tony Hawk 3 and 4. Let's talk about
Let's
that for a second.
go.
On early March, they did a countdown and revealed that they are doing remasters of Tony Hawk 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. And if you buy the digital deluxe edition, you can skate as the Doom Slayer from Doom and the Revenant, who's the skeleton man
Yeah.
From Doom.
That's great.
Yeah.
I heard they like completely like erased Bam Margera from the games. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
They have not said anything about him being in the game.
I would not be surprised.
So yeah,
It was probably something tied to his agreement for his sobriety, like he had with the Jackass guys.
Yeah.
And since he can't get clean, he's not invited.
For real?
He's
He
not.
ain't clean? I thought my man was doing his thing.
He that was the whole reason he wasn't in the last Jackass, is he was not clean. And Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O said, "Look, we had an agreement." And then he tried to sue them, and they're like, "Look, we had a contract. You got nothing. You got no grounds."
Yeah.
now.
Damn.
Now, they can't remake the second Tony Hawk Underground without him.
Sure.
Because he is a major part of the storyline, for better or worse, in that game.
Just replace him with, like, Spider-Man or Shrek or one of those other guest characters that they had in those games.
Spider-Man was in
Did they ever remaster
2?
1 and 2?
Yeah, they did.
They did. It was about a year or two ago, I think.
Oh, it was longer than that.
Oh,
It's way longer than you said.
They came to PlayStation Plus 3 or 4 months ago.
I gotta check out because number 2, that's nostalgia for
Oh
me.
yeah,
Oh,
Tony
yeah,
Hawk's Pro
for
Skater
sure.
2 was like one of my top games I played.
Oh
I
my
ripped the
God.
sticks off my controller with that.
I love
Between that and Dragon Ball Budokai.
To this day, sometimes I still just scream out, "I'll whip a can up off your punk." That's
All right. Well, we're getting close to time here, so before we wrap things up, Vaughn, thank you again for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure having you. We'll have to get you back on. We'll have to get you back on. A little sooner than 2 years. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, well, hey, I'm super free now, so.
Okay, sounds good. Well, one more time for the audience, where can people find your stuff?
Yeah, like I said, just for the music, you can just type VaunDoom on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and the social media platforms. I'll be on there. And for Dragon of God, for my webcomic, just go to globalcomics.com and just look up Dragon of God, and it should pop up.
Okay, well, right on. Thanks again for coming on, man. So you all have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find all our socials at links.nerdoverload.com.
You can watch the show live on Twitch, twitch.tv/nerdoverload on most Friday evenings.
Those Friday evenings, yeah.
And send us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com. Give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline. The number for that is 412-345-1413. Leave us a message and we'll play it on the show.
Yep, we will absolutely play it on the show. I don't filter that stuff.
Message.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you should, man.
I mean, BJ does it all the time.
BJ calls us all the time.
My mom wanted to call.
Oh, yeah?
I told her to do it.
Yeah. Give her the number. We'll play her on the show. That'd be great.
I'm surprised she doesn't have it.
It was about Daredevil.
Okay.
I won't spoil it in case she does call, but
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, I heard he was born again.
yes.
You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we also stream live. We dual simulcast YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. And finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us find some news for the show, and David Pencil for our intro and outro. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
I have to go open up a Pokemon card pack.
Okay.